I'm out here for the second run on the vintage Traxxas 4Tech. This thing is still running a mechanical speed controller. I got several comments where folks are really interested in a mechanical speed controller. I forget how old I am, and some folks grew up in a time where they weren't as common. Almost everything these days is going to run an electronic speed controller. At any rate, last time we ran 2S, we hit a little over 25 miles an hour. Today we're going to go ahead and run 3S. Now when I say 3S, it's a pretty mild 3S battery, and what I mean by mild is it's just got a disgusting amount of voltage sag. At least in a higher load application like a brushless system that's geared pretty tall. In this brush setup, the voltage sag might not be terrible. It's my Ovonic 50C 2200 mAh LiPo. It's the only 3S I have right now that fits in here, and the only one I have on the EC5 connector, which is what this is running right now. So at any rate, I'm gonna throw it in here and we'll see how fast it goes. I'm guessing we'll get at least an extra 10 miles an hour, maybe a little more, but let's see. So I can't show you the 3S battery yet because I have it taped in here. There's no good way to mount it. The battery slot there is not designed for a modern LiPo. But when I'm done with the run, I'll pull it out and everyone can see it then. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this GPS zeroed out and then get this car all buttoned up and we'll see what it can do. Oh, I almost forgot to say, I was thinking about how I was gonna make this happen. Now running the manual speed controller, there's no BEC or anything. I did not want to run 12 plus volts at 3S through the receiver. It's only rated up to 10 volts, nor through the two servos. There's a servo obviously for the steering and another that controls the throttle. This one here controls the throttle. So what I decided to do is I rigged up a small Li-ion battery. This is a 2S and it's at about 7.5 volts. So what I'm gonna do is plug this Li-ion battery into slot number 6 here in the receiver, and this will power the servos. And they'll be at a much happier voltage. Now this Ovonic 3S battery, it in my Raider is a vintage car with a budget brushless system, went 56 miles an hour, but with a more powerful 3S LiPo, it went 61 miles an hour. In my Bandit, which is well into the 90 mile an hour range, it went, well, it can't even do a run. It'll hit the low voltage cutoff because the voltage sags so badly. Whereas a good LiPo in that car will go 97 to 98 miles an hour on 3S. So at any rate, might not be much of an issue in this car. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. Well, it's handling it, but it does not look that much faster. All right, I'm used to cars going 60, 70, 90 plus miles an hour. So didn't feel crazy fast, but I think it was significantly faster than 2S. Let's see how it performed here. I'm guessing it may have got up close to 35. All right, there we go. 36.5 miles an hour on a really weak 3S LiPo. Not too bad. The motor, it's not hot. Oh, fuck. The resistor is quite hot. I was not expecting that. The way these mechanical speed controllers work is under full throttle. The resistor's not really getting any current to bleed off. It's only under part throttle that it should really be bleeding off that energy. But when I was easing into the throttle, I suppose that was enough to really heat it up. These things definitely get hot. I can remember as a kid on my vintage cars touching them before and actually burning myself, which I almost did then. So I might let it cool down for a minute or two, and then I may just drive it around a little bit and just see how it handles. But not bad. 36.5 miles an hour on the vintage Traxxas 4Tech 1.0. on a brushed motor on a very mild 3S LiPo. I'll take it. Now, I'm not going to run it too much longer just because that resistor did get so hot, but I just want to give it a couple quick pulls on 3S and see how it handles. One thing I noticed with this mechanical speed controller is there's definitely a noticeable delay when hitting the throttle. I don't want to annihilate the tires either. They're the stock ones and I should put them away. So just a little bit more running and we'll call it a day. All right, it's not happy about something. It won't go to full throttle. This actually happened to me the other day when I was running on 2S. And I don't know if there's some kind of thermal protection here. Maybe there is. And I suppose I reached it because it's only going to the medium speed setting. It has 3. I am terrified to touch this thing, but okay, it's not hot. It's just quite warm, but not sure what's going on. Maybe I'll let it cool down for a few seconds and just make sure it's okay and give it another quick burst. Okay, these battery connectors are quite warm. A lot of resistance here, not surprising. Maybe I'll rig up something different and see if I can get some more speed. Although I don't have a better 3S battery right now, which would be a big part of the equation. And this is only a 20 turn motor here. It's the stock motor, brushed 20 turn. Can't even get to the brushes to, you know, replace them or clean the motor or anything. So I'll give it a minute and maybe I'll just run it right now without the top on it. All right, it's back to full speed. Not a bad run at all. Let me know in the comment section if you have an opinion what you'd like to see me do next with this car. Perhaps I could solder on some beefier motor wires and remove those connectors and run it with a beefier 3S battery. Would you like to see me keep it with the mechanical speed controller for now and try to push it a bit further on the brush setup? Or do you want to see me jump right over to the brushless setup? Maybe run the one I have in my Kyosho Raider for a start, which would probably be good. Ultimately for around 70 miles an hour, I would guess, with the right gearing. But I could continue on with the stock motor and adjust the gearing as well. Maybe try for a goal of like 40 miles an hour or something on 3S. So a lot of different possibilities. I do not have a faster brushed motor to run than this. As I'm sitting here editing this video, I'm thinking I actually probably want to just go ahead and keep it brushed, and I think I want to run a Titan 12 turn. I've seen a Lightning Dad 13 get his cars up to well above 50 miles an hour on a Titan motor, maybe even I think 60 miles an hour is what he did. So I think that would be a good next step. So I'm not going too crazy, not pushing the car too hard, and I can slowly ease into the performance capabilities of this car. And if I could get it 50 plus miles an hour brushed, I think that would be a lot of fun. And then from there, as I slowly build my speed and make sure this car is mechanically sound, I don't even know if it's running bearings, honestly, at this point. So there's a lot of things I need to do to it. It has a belt that's not quite right for the car. The rear belt's not fitting right, so I need to order a new belt. So yeah, I think maxing out the stock motor first and then going to a Titan 12 turn would be a good path forward, and then going brushless. But I still want to hear your comments and thoughts. Anyway, that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching, and this has proven to be a really fun project. Again, a huge thank you to Wade Skelton for sending me out this car, and we'll see where we go next. Thanks for watching, and take care.